Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Shuttlecast. My name is Sal.
I'm Nathan.
And I'm Josiah. Welcome to the Shuttlecast. It's just the two of us today.
Hey.
But welcome back to another illustrious episode of the award-winning podcast. You can't dispute that. We're back talking about things we've seen, things we haven't seen, things we've read, and things we've listened to. I can't even check.
That's right.
I'm trying to switch my YouTube account to see what episode we're on, but it's like, you can't do that. I was gonna say the number real quick.
Oh, do we number our episodes?
Wow.
I totally don't pay attention.
That's
to
okay.
that.
Wow, it's
I just listen for the art.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
This
is number 12. There we go. We're on top of it. Welcome to the 12th Shuttlecast. It's crazy. I actually found another Shuttlecast podcast, but we had our first episode out years before them, so we still are number one.
That's true.
We're the best.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's the truth. So we're here to talk about a couple things. So we have some stuff that in our ongoing Rebel Moonathon, if you will. Yeah. But I want to start off by talking about something that, and I want to get this out off the bat. I want to talk about this movie that I doubt, Nathan, I doubt you saw, and that's okay, because I'm going to tell you why you should see it. Over the weekend, I went out to my local theater and I watched the movie Strange Darling. Right. Let me pull my notepad so I can start jotting down some notes here. Strange Darling. There we go. That's the first conversations for today. So, Strange Darling is a movie by director J.T. Mulner, whose work I've never seen before. He did some Western called Outlaws and Angels. I know this movie and Strange Darling were both shot on 35mm, and which is why it looks really good. The movie even tells you a film shot on 35mm, which some people think is cringy. I think it's so cringy it goes back around to being like kind of cool.
Okay.
Because you're saying like, listen, this isn't like one of those fucking Netflix digital camera movies, all right? This was shot on film. We used a film camera.
Tarantino would love it.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels a bit Tarantino-y. It's like if Tarantino made a Texas Chainsaw Massacre type movie. It's really interesting because like some of the so the movie basically is about, like, the movie opens and it's like it says it's a thriller in 6 chapters, which is great because, like, you know, there's always a weird line between like horror and thriller, which is it. So it's nice the movie opens by telling you this is going to be a thriller, and then it opens right away to chapter 3. So you're already in the thick of it, like the guy's already chasing the girl with like a gun, so you're like already in the midst of what's happening. But the film utilizes the nonlinear storytelling in a really masterful way that really messes with your expectations, because you're seeing the story out of order. You're really like big reveals happen and like when they finally get to chapter 2 and you're like, oh, and everything's recontextualized as to what's going on. So it's really interestingly shot, and also like all like the two leads. So it's Kyle Gallner, who is in so many like horror movies. He's in Smile, Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street, Haunting Connecticut. He was in The Cleansing Hour, which is amazing. It's like Late Night with the Devil, but good, and also done first. Shots fired.
Damn.
But Kyle Gallner's
I thought you didn't watch Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
So what if it's better?
Oh, it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's not. No, there's no way. No shot. Sorry. One film used AI, one film didn't. It's that feels cut and dry to me.
That, you know what? That's fair.
That's the only reason why I've not seen that movie is because it uses do you know about this? The AI thing with Late Night with the Devil?
Yeah, like the artwork is all AI or some shit.
Yeah, so
it's,
like
prominently featured.
there's like interstitials that's like kind of reminiscent of like old TV, and also there's like spooky skeletons on the set, and all that was using Gen AI,
No
aka
gusta.
stolen artwork. So yeah, ew, no, they were just
Yeah.
experimenting. It was the joke.
Oh, I see.
Teehee.
It sounds like it didn't land very well.
No, no, bad. Looks great other than that though. Uh,
Sure.
Kyle Gallner, I forgot this. He was also in Red State, the like one of the two really good Kevin Smith movies.
Okay, all right.
This is the Kevin Smith film where it's like kind of a serious like take on like crazy Christians. It's interesting. It's actually like he tries. It's amazing. It's like that in Dogma. It's like when Kevin Smith's talking about God, it's like, oh, okay, he's got his shit on lock.
Yeah.
It also stars Strange Darling. Also stars Willa Fitzgerald, who is not like a super well known actor, but she was in The Fall of the House of Usher. So if you're in a Mike Flanagan project, you're probably a good actor. He knows how to pick them.
Yeah.
But I'd say everyone should go out and see this movie. It's really well shot. It's really well paced. The dialogue's really witty. It kind of feels a bit Tarantino-like, but not in like a kind of way. Like, oh god, it's trying so hard to be a Tarantino movie sort of way. It's like an actual like, no, this is a good movie, and it's got really good twists, really good like actors doing like acting their ass off and playing really interesting characters that kind of defy what you think they're gonna be. And also the film was shot. The cinematographer was Giovanni Ribisi. I'm gonna send you his face. I can't. Fucking Letterbox isn't. This isn't an image. This is just hard coded into the fucking whatever, man.
Yeah.
You piece of shit. He was the douchey CEO from Avatar.
Oh, okay.
Unobtainium guy with the
and
golf.
he did this. He did the cinematography.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So he's a man of many talents,
and it's really good. And I'm like, damn. I'm not saying quit acting, but you know,
some people have more of a calling to other things.
when it gets you in there, you know. So yeah, go see Strange Darling. I don't want to spoil the movie. Not for you, Nathan, and not for anybody listening. Right. Go support original cinema. This isn't like based on any property. It's not a fucking Deadpool and Wolverine. It's an original idea. It's a nice 90-minute movie. Like go support good cinema, because the studio behind it's not marketing it. It's just Kyle Gallner screaming on Twitter. So if we can go,
he's trying.
He is the only person trying. God bless him. Someone has to try. Damn. So I just wanted it out there first. Go watch this really cool thriller. It's in theaters. It's, low budget, but it's really good. Not low budget in a bad way, but low budget in like it's really concise. And maybe because they're shooting on film, it's really like everything's very meaningful because there's only so much film. Which really hit me recently when did you see that Every Frame a Painting came back?
So I feel like I'm not in the club of being an avid Every Frame a Painting viewer or fan. So I have only heard that it's back, and I don't have context for it being not around or being around in the first place. So
I like that you watched EFAP for a number of time, but
I did.
But the originator of the joke of EFAP was not something you had seen.
That's the subversion.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Every Frame a Painting was a video essayist, and I'd say like an actual video essayist. Like it'd be like an actual essay about like film or like media or something, and not just like I'm gonna script out my thoughts and feelings on a movie and call it a video essay or retrospective. You know what I mean? And they never really they never tried to go hit that 10-minute mark or 30-minute mark. Some videos are like 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah,
it's not like overstaying its welcome. It's the videos come in, they say what they gotta say, and they leave.
Mm.
I think his longest one's like 13 minutes long. That's like his longest video.
Interesting.
And they're really good like takes on like film and filmmaking and stuff. And his newest one actually talks about how shooting on film led the filmmakers being more like conscientious with the shots they were taking in a movie.
Mm.
Like, because you didn't have all this endless, SD cards to get every single possible like angle, you had to pick a really interesting shot for your movie.
Yeah, and that translates, I would say, with I think that modern movies nowadays can feel a little bit sterile just because everything is so controlled and done to the exact vision. Whereas I feel like every now and then, like when you're watching like 80s or even most 90s films, I would say, like you get like moments where it's like it feels like abrupt chaos, and it's just because you can kind of sense what it was like filming those conditions.
Yeah, it's like when you watch Evil Dead and you're like, oh my god, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm in this cabin and we've been here for months.
Yeah, or I just watched when I was on vacation, one of the few channels that would have things in English. They had The Fugitive, and there's a scene where Tommy Jones is hunting down Harrison Ford throughout a parade, and they actually just got permission. It was an actual parade going on that they got permission to film during. So it's literally just like two guys with hand cameras on both of the actors, and so like it feels like it. It's very like, oh god, like it feels, it's very immersive.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel that. It's good. It makes you feel like you're really with it, and also it's more purposeful.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So go see Strange Darling. I beg you, I beseech you, please. But moving on. Oh, sorry. Yes.
I also watched a movie that I'm pretty sure you haven't seen.
I'm looking at your letterbox right now, and it's a little scary.
Yeah. So
which one of these are you going to talk about? It's gonna ruin my day.
Well, ideally, I'll get to all of them, but I'll be brief. So I won't I won't get to the one that has the pop just yet, but I watched this 70s movie called Scream Pretty Peggy. And it's very funny. Like I would to make similar points that you made, it is shot on film because it's 70s, it had to be. It's low budget. I've never heard of the people who worked on it, and
not even Betty Davis.
I did hear about Betty Davis. They did hang their hat on Betty Davis being in it. And if you ever get the opportunity to watch, I would pass on that if I were you.
Yeah. What did you rate the movie?
1.5 stars.
Yes.
It's so for one thing, even if you're desperate to watch it, it's very hard to get a copy of it digitally. The copy that I found had French subtitles hard coded. I don't think that comes standard, so I won't knock it for that.
Yeah, Letterboxd is like where to watch. Go buy the Blu-ray off Amazon.
Yeah, exactly.
Own it on Blu-ray for $14.79, guys.
Yeah,
only 11 in stock. You better hurry up.
The way I found it was I couldn't even torrent it for one thing. So I literally had to just search Scream Pretty Peggy full movie and then go to the video section on Google and then find one of those sites.
Oh my god.
So yeah, but it's not good. It's a bog standard knockoff of Psycho. This girl wants to be a maid for this like famous recluse artist, and she noticed that he's started making like creepy statues, and he lives with his mother, and also his sister, who is even more reclusive and apparently psychotic. And then spoilers, you find out that his sister's dead and that he pretends to be her, and that the weird creepy statues he makes are where he hides the bodies, and it sucks. It was a waste of time.
You're telling me the guy who directed Scream and Scream Again is a bad director?
Yeah.
I'm looking at his IMDb. It's some pretty good credits.
I think he just might be.
The Oblong Box. Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh, okay. But yeah, so that was unfortunate.
Oh, Vincent Price and Christopher Lee.
Oh, well, hey, that's probably better.
I'm sure their scenes together are good.
I can only imagine.
Trivia: this film was banned in Texas during its theatrical release. Never mind.
Oh shit.
Did he just
right now? So my current methodology is I have a list of movies from the 1001 Movies You Need to See Before You Die book that comes out like every year or two. I have the random recommendations that I get from you or Joe, family friends that I find on the internet that I put on a list, or I have films from the Asylum. so that's what I watch, and this week I'm hoping to start a new trend where I'm able to knock off one of each week.
For half a second I was like, what the fuck is playing? So I was going crazy.
It perfectly captures that feel of like, oh shit, did I leave a tab open and now it's playing?
There's a half a second of the the orchestral, and I'm like, oh wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh man, that looks like a good movie. But you also watched wait a minute, this is weird. Wait, what? So wait, there's this movie. Okay, hold on. You watched a film called The Rock and Roll Fantasy.
Yes.
But the poster says Sorority House Party.
Yes.
So which one is it?
So that's the funny thing. When it comes to
Oh, these are all Asylum. Are these like old Asylum movies, like before they really started to like?
Yes. So I did a correction on my list. I feel like I've probably I'm
yes,
sure I've said this
you did
before.
talk about this. Yes,
on the show. But I got my list and I thought it was organized in order of release, and then I found out that it was organized by year, but then each year was organized alphabetically, and even then, like there's not a real consensus on the actual release dates between like Wikipedia and the Asylum website. So I just went on IMDb to organize everything and assume that they know what they're talking about.
That's fair.
So this movie actually came out before The Killers duology, written and directed by the same guy, which is very funny because this one is a comedy and Killers is not.
Intentionally, anyway. Yeah.
No, indeed, quite so. But it's weird because, oh man, what do I say about Rock and Roll Fantasy / Sorority House Party? It was a more enjoyable experience than Killers. However, it is clear that the guys, David Michael Latt, let me name drop. It does seem that Killers is more up his wheelhouse because like the editing and filming style is very similar between the two, and so what seemed normal and in place for like a gritty, action suspense does not translate well to comedy. It ended up feeling very like it feels very amateur and like sluggish, where you're supposed to have quick quippy dialogue between characters, but because it's going between two different takes and like there's too much space left in each take, kind of the Yaoya effect, if you know what I'm.
Oh, I am so aware of the Yaoya effect. Oh my god, wait a minute. Go on.
Where
Sorry.
you want the quip response back, you want kind of that, like, but instead it's quip response. Yeah, and it's like, oh boy. Also, anyone who wasn't like a main character, anytime that like a background character was speaking, it sounded like this.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, but it is rock and roll fantasy. I found it on Pluto. That's what it was under.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, support the official avenues where you can.
Yes.
But so it is about there's a rock star named Jackie B, I think his name is,
That
played
sounds
by
good.
famous actor Attila, who's in one other thing.
Oh yeah, obviously.
And his manager, record producer, tries to get him killed in a car accident, and he doesn't realize that it fails, and so uh he just goes off to get drunk at a bar, and then he runs into these sorority girls who are also drunk at a bar, and one of them is a nerdy girl archetype, and the other is the best friend party girl archetype, and they take him to back to the sorority house because they're both big fans, and the nerdy girl is like into him, and she mildly molests him while he's unconscious.
Oh, okay.
And
As you do. Yeah.
as you do. And her friend handcuffs him to the bed when they both pass out.
As you said that, I'm watching the trailer on mute, and that scene happens.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the next morning comes, and they're like, "Oh no, we don't have the key." And the whole time you're kind of just like, "That's a flimsy looking bed frame. Why doesn't he just break out?" But he doesn't.
Especially for a guy named Attila.
A guy named Attila. For those of you who are unfamiliar, to me, when I was watching, he came off kind of like a low budget, very high Charlie Cox. And he's got like the slightly too long hair to be a rock star kind of look, and
he's giving me Samurai Cop,
Yeah, very much so. It's very much like that delivery with slightly weird enunciation. That's like all his lines.
Like the director can only find this, like he wanted like a buff main character, and all he had was a guy who was like, I'll only go by Attila.
Yes,
that's
yes.
Great.
Yeah, it's something.
This is sounding a lot like you watched a gender flipped boner comedy version of Gerald's Game.
There's more human interaction, but I do see the comparison. Yeah, it's I wouldn't recommend it. It's no Edgar Wright or Coen Brothers. So but
God, the other film he was in, Body Bags, has like John Carpenter and Toby Hooper and Sam Raimi, Wes Craven.
Oh.
What the shit?
Well, hey, we'll get to. Did that come out after or before?
After. It was his last known film.
Oh, okay. So what we do know is
and then Attila.
Well, they picked him out. That this was his big break.
You're right. You know what? Attila really held together. Oh my god, Mark Hamill's in it. Roger Corman. Also, what the fuck? This is insane. You gotta watch this.
There's also there's a father-son like mob assassin duo that it's the perpetual Italian father is disappointed in his son for not wanting to follow in his footsteps.
That's crazy.
Kind of thing. And again, it's clunky and sloppy with their dialogue, but it's entertaining. So I would say we went upwards in quality, but sadly, since it came first, we actually go downwards.
Oh shit!
So what are you gonna do?
Will Wheaton. Anyway. Son of a bitch.
Damn.
Well, I'm happy that your trip going through
Asylum
is leading to many gems.
We're only let's see.
4 movies in?
3 movies in.
You didn't watch both Killers?
Well, yeah, but I watched those two and then Sorority House Party.
Oh, I don't know. I was counting. I was counting the other film.
You were kind of counting Attila's other film.
I was kind of Stream Pretty Peggy.
No. That slightly predates, but is of similar quality.
That's why I just thought, like, that was like decrepit ancient Asylum, but
I feel you. Yeah. So I'm only
it's beautiful, man.
I'm only 13 movies away from their first mockbuster when they start ripping off Hollywood. So these next few, they're all going to be OGs. And again, this is one that they just distributed. They didn't really produce.
Right.
So it
before they
is somewhat disqualified, but we're closing in on their first in-house production. So
The Asylum.
That's beautiful, man. Do we want to talk about I Have News, or we could talk about Rebel Moon?
Ooh, we normally do Rebel Moon pretty early on, so why don't we go
Keep
through
with tradition
that real quick?
All right.
Then,
Do you want to talk about the comic or the Seneschal?
Let's see.
Did you read the comic?
I did. I
read it
all
today, so it'd be fresh.
Nice. I read a chapter a night.
That's
over
smart.
the last week, so
I've been doing that with either The Expanse or with my ongoing X-Men read through.
Nice. I've been doing that with The Lord of the Rings, and then I had to take a little break for House of the Bloodaxe.
Of course, of equal quality, I'm sure.
Why don't we start with the Seneschal as it came out? Chronologically, it's before, so we gotta go in order.
All right, Seneschal. All right. So, episode 5 of the narrative podcast, the audio drama, The Seneschal, the Divine Child. This was the shortest episode, and maybe the best.
This episode kind of slaps.
This
I'm not
fucked
gonna lie.
hard.
Yeah.
I was taking a bath listening to this, and I legit sat up in the tub and was just staring at my phone as it was as the final moments were happening, and I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah,
I lost my shit.
I listened on my drive home, and yeah, once it hit the credits, I was just like,
That was great.
Because to summarize the last 5 minutes, everyone was just screaming at Bartholomew.
Shoot this motherfucker!
Yeah, so
But that was after Ulmer said,
Who did this?
and then Bartholomew just went.
There we go.
And that's the review.
Unfortunately, it was too quick for Ulmer to go. But I'm sure he would have if he could.
If he could.
But if he tried, it would have just sounded like so.
So, all right. So this episode, spoilers, obviously, because this is our weekly Seneschal review. God, how do we even this is an unpacking, and there's not even a summary of the episode because no one cares but us.
The Rebel Moon wiki is trying, man. It's it's a small but loyal crew.
Yeah, I'd help, but I have a job.
I'd help, but I don't want to. So.
So this episode, I believe it opens with, so Bartholomew is fully within Ulmer's court now. His whole goal is to protect Issa. He doesn't really care about the king, and he only cares about the queen because she's carrying Issa, the queen who is Reyna, but I think they call her Veld or something, because that's her fake name.
Yeah, whatever her queen persona is.
I think it's Veld. Maybe her wiki page will tell me. I'm gonna say it's Veld though.
Well, because that's the Rebel Moon.
No, that's Velt.
Oh, okay.
They were doing a thing by calling her Velt, that they were tying it in. Because a veld is actually something. It's an open, uncultivated country or grassland in southern Africa.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Real original Zack Snyder.
Yeah, really.
It's Velda.
Velda. That's right.
Yeah, so Bartholomew's only task is to protect Issa. And he has to technically protect Reyna because she's carrying Issa theoretically.
Yes.
Adwin wants 11 more troops built, and he has this Game of Thronesian plan to hire a bunch of builders to help build him 11 more Mechanicus like Bartholomew and then kill them.
Yep.
Great. Love it.
Naturally. Why
wouldn't you? And I forget, it's pretty early on, but then there's a scene between Bartholomew and Sabine.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, so very I expected more to come from this, but since the end of the episode happens, I guess it won't unless the final episode does something. But they're kind of talking about like emotions and duty and everything, and
humans and how silly they are for having irrational wants and needs.
Yeah. And she's like, Sabine is like, so do you feel feelings? Like, how do you feel like about your mission? He's like, yeah, I have feelings. And like, are they good or bad? And he's like, it's very unpleasant. And it's like, oh shit, I'm sorry, Bartholomew. She kind of, it's a good little character moment between these two robots that they do have their own wants and needs. They talk about how much they like hearing the birds and flowers, and Sabine's like, oh, if I'd love to go somewhere by the sea, and Bartholomew's like, oh, that'd be great too. And I'm like, I kind of ship this.
And Bartholomew's like, I want to build a little garden and like have my flowers, and it's like, oh, it was such a fucking good moment where like, because almost never are the Mechanicus characters like alone together or the only person in the scene. You're always with like Reyna or Adwin or Ulmer. So when they all went away and it was just Bartholomew and Sabine, and then they had that moment, it was so fucking good, and like shows you that like they are more than just robots. Like whatever magic Reyna has injected into their hearts actually is giving them life.
Yeah,
like in a way, and they have wants, and like there's it's last episode where Bartholomew is like he stops talking for a second, and Adwin's like, what are you doing? And Bartholomew's like, I'm thinking.
Yeah,
and he's like, well, you're what?
Yeah, oh, it's great. I really hoped that this, and I still do hope that this scene gets a little bit of payoff in Rebel Moon 3. That like when we find Issa and Bartholomew, they're somewhere by the sea with a little garden.
I swear to God, if Bartholomew doesn't have a garden in Rebel Moon 3, I can't say I want my money back because it's not, but metaphorically I do.
I do, yeah. If it's like, oh, we've been hiding on this barren wasteland, and it's like, oh man,
come on, dude,
have a garden here,
you fucker. So yeah, that's a really good scene because Bartholomew has some funny lines where he's like not haha funny, more like sad funny, where it's like, I don't question my purpose like humans do. I know my purpose and I follow it.
Yeah, and his scene with Reyna where she's like, oh, it's my fucking jailer, and he's like, oh, listen, I'm really sorry. I'm just here to guard you.
Yeah, it's like, it's my literal purpose of being. So
yeah. It's like, oh, your what did she say? Like your religious rantings just bore me. And it's like, oh man, come on, this is raison d'etre.
He knows nothing else, bro.
Yeah,
he just wants a garden. Okay, he has to guard your ass.
And then she goes out to walk in the garden and doesn't bring him, and it's like, what the fuck?
You dumb bitch. No, Reyna's been through a lot. It's okay.
It's true.
So this episode, I think culminates. It is a very short episode, but Reyna is going to give birth.
Yes.
very suddenly,
Yes.
almost suspiciously so. And at first I was like, that's kind of rushed, but then it was not rushed because so Grigory, who is like the priest, the former seneschal, basically is like, oh, Reyna gave birth, it's a son. You're a fucking liar, Adwin. I'm gonna go tell the king right now. And the king shows up and he's like, a fucking son? You lied to me? You didn't give me a daughter like the prophecy said? So like all this is bullshit and either you're lying or Grigory is lying, but like I'm gonna kill everybody basically. And he goes to Reyna and like he starts beating her to fucking death. And then you realize that it was actually Sabine and there was no kid. Reyna was in the garden with Bartholomew the whole time. She's still Pregante.
Yeah. And it's very funny because beforehand, Adwin had a scene with Bartholomew where he was like, hey, the king, he might be dangerous, like what if he does something to hurt, and he's like, Bartholomew's just like, oh well, that's if he does something, then I'll step in. And
I'm well aware of the past histories of King Ulmer's atrocities.
Yeah, and he's like, oh no, it's when Ulmer starts beating the shit out of Adwin. And Reyna's like, please, you gotta help him. And Bartholomew's like, that's not in my programming.
Yeah, he's like, I don't gotta do anything, actually.
Oh man.
It's like, he's not part of the royal bloodline that will birth Issa, so he can fucking die.
Yeah. And so like, let's we'll finish the summary before getting into some stuff. But so then he's pissed off. He feels like he's been lied to by everyone. So he's like, oh, I'm gonna, I'm gonna kill Reyna. And then Bartholomew's like, okay, no. And then just instant. It's like, holy shit.
Is this, yeah. And finally he's dead.
Strength is dead.
Good, right, you son of a bitch. That should be in the soundboard.
it should be. We'll rotate some stuff. Eventually, we'll go Nitro one of these days. It's only a matter of time.
I'm always tempted. It was zangled that free month of Nitro in front of me, and I'm like, fuck you. Maybe if this podcast earns us money, I'll put it towards Nitro for the soundboard.
I like it. You see, there we go.
Incentive.
But yeah, so I had let's start with the scene with Ulmer. It's Ulmer and Grigory, or no, it's Grigory and Adwin.
Yes, when they're talking about
she gave birth to a son, and so I had an issue before the ending, and then I had a different issue after the ending.
Okay.
So my first issue when this is being brought up, I was like, wait, oh shit, I thought Reyna was able to do some like witchy Aes Sedai magic to make sure that she can have a girl. Otherwise, that's a huge fucking gamble.
Yeah, she's got some Aes Sedai, Bene Gesserit, like gene, whatever.
Yeah,
breeding magic.
But then we find out that he was just lying, and the other issue is, I guess he was just expecting Ulmer to fly off in a blind rage, but like, if he had gone to the real Reyna, she would have just said, I haven't given birth yet, you dumb broad.
Yeah, I guess what was Gregory's plan?
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, it only takes asking to be like, oh, he was lying, I should probably kill him.
And it's not like Gregory had like, it'd be one thing if maybe the reason why, because obviously the idea was we're going to use Sabine because she looks just like Reyna.
Yeah.
Sounds like her, looks like her. I have to imagine it in reality, the voice filter is not quite there, but it's just there for our audio benefit.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't, the scenes would get very confusing.
It would. That's true.
Because I don't think Jimmy in the movies has a heavy voice filter. I think it's just Anthony Hopkins
doesn't either.
He kind of has a little bit of a like Vox waver to him, but
oh, does he?
A tiny bit. It's not. It also helps he's gravelly already.
Yeah, it's masked very well.
So yeah, so it'd be one thing if Grigory had like gone to Bartholomew and was like, "Hey, I need you to keep Reyna here or take her somewhere else
Yeah.
because she's in danger. And then Bartholomew would be like, of course, this is my duty as the, and then he recites some bullshit.
Yeah.
But like, no, she's just like in the garden chilling. Like she could have come back at any time.
Yeah.
And so Gregory's plan was, okay, upset the king. Maybe he'll kill Adwin. And then maybe he'll kill Sabine thinking it's Reyna. But then what would happen to Reyna? And what would happen whenever she eventually gave birth to potentially Issa?
Yeah.
Unless he planned to like, unless there was like unless the next episode, hopefully, there was like a bit of a deeper level to his plan where it's like, I don't know, an assassin comes out because he had originally planned to have, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's like we're forced to work together because it actually was my plan to have Bartholomew kill the king, and now it's happened. So, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Why did he do all that when Reyna was just still in the castle? Is he stupid?
Yeah, he hasn't read the script.
Yeah, he didn't read the script. You fucking idiot. See, because if Carrie Elwes was there, he would have read the script. Men in Tights reference.
That's right.
But.
Okay.
So, I mean, all in all, really good episode. It's just, I wonder what Gregory's idea was here. I kind of feel like re-listening to it just to see, like, what the fuck was he trying to do? Did I miss something?
Yeah,
Am I the stupid?
I'll probably do a full re-listen once it's all done.
Yeah.
Next week, baby.
Next week.
It was also, I feel like I was kind of getting this vibe before, and it kind of, I feel, was at its strongest this episode. So King Ulmer's arc, it kind of reminds me of in I don't know if you'll remember this reference.
Okay.
But in Heroes Season 2,
okay,
Hero
maybe
with Takashi Kensei, the like legendary warrior who turns out to just be like a shit.
Is that
and Adam Monroe?
Yes.
Yeah,
my favorite actor ever.
He's so good. But like he meets Hero, and beforehand he was just like this fake and a scoundrel and everything, but Hero knows him from legend as being this like great warrior and hero, and then he's like, oh, I kind of want to be that, and so he tries. I feel like that a little bit with Ulmer, where like he finds out about the prophecy and he's like, oh, I should usher in destiny, and like I guess he I don't know why, but he in this episode it sounds like he thought that Reyna really did love him. And I was kind of like, oh
yeah, that's it. That was interesting when like right before like the end when he when Ulmer got it sounded like he actually like almost cared for Reyna and thought that she cared back.
Yeah,
it was cool.
She comes back and sees that he fucking beat Sabine to shit. She's like, you haven't changed. And he's like, nope, I love you. And I'm like, oh god, like I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like I kind of wanted more of that. Like it's an interesting arc. I just wish I had more time with Ulmer for him to like, you know, realize he's gonna be like, you know, like a lot of people change when they become like a parent, right? Like they really do, like the act of like giving birth to life, whether like you're the one doing the birthing or you just, you know, stuck the seed in, like it really does change a person fundamentally.
Yeah. And like we see him kind of thinking about a little bit where he's like, oh, I used to be feared and now like I'm just loved as this figurehead. And it's like, well, how are you gonna feel once the kid's out? But we'll never know.
We'll never know. I mean, Ulmer, I mean, he did need to die. His character, like he he was never gonna get redeemed.
No.
This isn't a
certainly not.
Dragon Age Origins Logain situation. That's a good reference that two people will get.
I believe you.
Thank you. But yeah, it kind of sucks that he eats it right as he was getting interesting.
Yeah, I guess he's the proto Carrie Elwes, where, you know, Carrie Elwes gets the before and after his daughter.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Which that kind of leads me to another question is, I guess it's all down to the next episode. Where is it? Are we going to find out that Princess Issa is like a cycle that repeats in the Empire,
No,
or
I
is
think
it
she
just
is.
not going to be Issa?
And I think it is a cycle because they mentioned that an older Issa was the one that basically ended the war with the Kali.
It's true, but
Because that's not this Issa in the Seneschal, because they would have talked about the fact that there's giants.
yes, it's true, and Sabine tells Ulmer the story of the war with the giants. So
Yeah.
we know that that's history in this and in the Rebel Moon movies. So I know that there's the original Issa, but from Rebel Moon I had assumed that the Issa from that movie was the reincarnation. But if there's a series of reincarnation, that's cool.
That is cool. How many years pre Rebel Moon is the Seneschal? 500?
500, yeah.
So
is it an Issa every 500 years?
that
Again,
would make some sense. That'd be a decent amount of time.
yeah, because apparently there's been the Carrie Elways is like the 1860th king in that line.
Yes.
So
yes.
that would honestly fix some of the logistics issue with, and it's something, I think you and Joe talked about it a little bit. But I remember Joe mentioning like that's something you kind of run into with these sci-fi fantasy empires that have gone on for fucking eons, and it's like, and they were always like aggressive and warlike, that like they never because that's kind of what we're presented with Motherworld in the movie. But if it's like, no, it's like that for hundreds of years, and then Issa shows up and it cools down, and then it's like that for hundreds of years, and it's like, okay, I get that a little more.
Yeah, it's the sci-fi space opera thing of everything is bigger and betterer.
Yeah.
Like, instead of it being I feel like in a regular fantasy setting, they'd be royalty for 18 generations, not 1,886 generations.
Yeah.
It wouldn't, and then you wouldn't have the sci-fi thing of like, Velt is the planet, or it's like the farmers are there, and then we have this other planet. It's like it's like to be like just like regions of the realm. There wouldn't be like a whole planet.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Tatooine's the desert one. Hoth is the snow one.
Yeah, it's very all or nothing.
Yeah, it's one of those like genre gimmies. But then, like, it leads to some interesting stuff when you're dealing with what we're in now, where we have like, we have one story that's 500 years before the main story we're doing, and it's, I got tired thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
But then we get to House of the Bloodaxe, which seems to primarily take place shortly before and during the assassination of Issa and the King.
Yes, I think the first issue, the assassination happens.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts? What do you want to talk about with House of the Bloodaxe?
We're not going to do a summary like with Seneschal, because
this
is a whole ass comic. It's like 4 issues.
Yes.
It's like 4 issues of comic, so we'll go crazy. Yeah. I'll give thoughts and opinions and feelings, and then likes and dislikes. But I'd say it was a bit mediocre. I didn't love it.
Yeah,
this is probably the first Rebel Moon thing where I'm actually a bit iffy on.
Yeah.
So some of the issues I have. So it ran for 4 issues. Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like from January to May, and there has not been a 5th issue. My thing with this first volume we'll talk about is it really wasn't about Deborah and Darian. It was about their dad.
Yes.
Which, in a way, is cool, because since you're doing a prequel, kind of taking a different approach and having your focus point character be their dad and not them is interesting. And the dad had an interesting arc of like, you know, his dad was a warlord who aligned this planet to his cause. And then he was sort of like this academy boy who is doing his best, and he married a local girl who is way more loved than him. It's sort of like it's a little bit Paul Atreides-ish. But if like Paul was did not grab Destiny by the balls and drink the blue juice.
Yeah, if Paul was just a nothing burger.
Yeah, then, if his dad was his granddad, like if Paul's dad was like the bull,
yeah,
instead of, you know, good charismatic Duke Leto, and then the Fremen never respected him.
Yeah.
That would be this story.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. I think I would have liked it more if it didn't spend so long on the dad. I kind of because I'm not a big comic guy. If I have to, I prefer manga. But it was funny. I actually talked to Joe about it. And I was like, yeah, like it was fine, but it was like almost entirely about like the dad, like you barely got any of them. And he kind of sat me down and told me like the process for comic arcs. And he was like, yeah, I'll bet you in like a year or two, there's going to be like another 4-issue Darien comic. And then like another 4-issue Devra comic. Like, because like the thing is with comics, when you say this is issue 1 of 4, people are going to be more likely to grab stuff up. But if you see it's like issue 1 of 30, and be like, oh, fuck off, I don't want all that. So
I see.
This could be like, you know, in 5 years we could get the House of the Bloodaxe omnibus, where it's like 5 or 6 arcs that are, you know, all really one thing. So in that regard, if that comes to fruition, this is a fine prologue, I guess.
That's what it felt like. I felt like a prologue to the actual story I thought I was getting.
Yeah, like especially based on the cover art.
Yeah, I'm staring at it right now. By the way, very good art. Kind of want this as a print.
Yeah.
But it's called House of the Bloodaxe. It shows them as they appear in the movies.
Yeah.
You know, drawn, of course. But but they never get to that point in the comic.
No, we barely get them. I mean, when we do get them, they are kind of interesting because like Devra doesn't want to like fuck things up with the mother world, whereas Darien wants to prove himself, so he sides with the rebels, and so they're actually like fighting each other. It was a very cool dynamic.
That was the most interesting part, I'd say, was the fact that they had to like that they were not on the same side, and I'm like, ooh, can I like be with them to see what they're feeling and feel what they're feeling? But then it cuts to the dad like crying.
Yeah, it really shits on the dad. That's the other thing is like,
what a pathetic main character.
Yeah, I feel like it never gets past that point of like, oh god, he has to fill in for the warlord and he's not as respected, but his wife was respected, but you know, he's trying, but he's not as good, and it just stayed in like that holding formation for 4 fucking issues.
And also and every issue it would cut back and forth, but not always tell you when we're cutting back or forth.
Yeah.
Or we cut back and forth in a different way all of a sudden, like issue like 3 or 4, all of a sudden it's like a vision. And I'm like, it's been flashbacks the last 3 issues, but all of a sudden issue 4, we have him going on a vision quest with like his wife's ghost. I guess.
Yeah, it's it was confused. And you know, one of the things that's interesting was that this comic was in development before the movies came out. So, you know, they had to do some like weird collaboration where they didn't actually get to see what they were leading into. I feel like that's why we didn't get very much of Darren and Devra, because they were like, we're not sure how much, like, we don't want to contradict anything. You know, it was interesting how the so slight tangent, but this will tie in.
Okay.
So I'm watching through the Child's Play series with Katie, which is a whole lot of fun. And
Sounds fun.
we got to Bride of Chucky, and there's a character who is the chief of police, and he's like threatening his daughter's boyfriend, and he was like, I'm the chief of police, so if I take your blood test and it says that you look like Christian Slater on New Year's Eve, you think anyone's gonna question me? And I was like, oh god. And that's really what it feels like with Belisarius, where he was fucking there, he killed the king, and then in this, it's like saying, oh yeah, some of the conspirators were on the planet of the Bloodaxes, so we need to pacify them. And it's like, oh shit, you bitch. Like, just using this circumstance to deal with people who are annoying to deal with.
That's how I feel like what they did, and I know they didn't say it, was that, like, I feel like we're gonna hit a point where we find out that basically every planet was told, hey, you're you know, an undesirable part of your planet is housing the rebels who killed the king and Princess Issa, and use them, like, killing each other as a way to pacify them and have them, like, under their boot and be like, well, you did kill your own for us, so now we kind of own you.
There we go. Okay.
Because also in issue 3 we get General Titus on the comms with the person leading the war effort on Bloodaxe planet. I couldn't say, I'm sorry, I can't say it. It was Space Africa. I couldn't. Yeah. There was a lot of characters I'm not familiar with that are in combinations I've never seen before. I got a language in my head I don't speak. So I didn't quite get all of it, but on the Bloodaxe planet, she's talking to Titus on the comm, and he's like, hey, if they offer peaceful surrender, I'm gonna give it to them, are you? And then she's like, I'll do what I have to do, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or it kind of shows like, oh, okay, cool, we're also kind of getting a little bit of Titus going on, where he's like, he's at Sarah Wu. I remembered the name.
Yeah, we got the screaming face where it's like, oh, sorry, Titus.
Yeah, poor fucker.
We also got to see the Seneschal.
The Seneschal.
I assume it's Bartholomew.
No, that's specifically the Bloodaxe's Seneschal on their planet.
Oh, there's multiple Seneschals.
Well, that was so. Our Seneschal was the one to the king.
Oh, okay.
The King Ulmer.
Gotcha.
So, and because there's like a kingdom happening here on Shasu.
Oh yeah.
They have their own Seneschal.
Okay. Everyone gets a Seneschal. I see.
Or it's cool because you get the you know, you get to see that Mechanicus soldier Seneschal, like, get defeated and depressed that Issa's dead.
Yes, that was very cool to see.
There's a lot of cool little, like, we're tying everything together here with this. It's good.
Yeah.
So there's some good parts to this. Like, I feel like Devra and Darian's arcs of, like, you know, Darian being, like, hot-headed and gung-ho kind of lead into the movie and his fate in the movie, where he's like, yeah, I'll go with this, like, very, like, lost cause on this random planet. Like, it kind of helps inform that.
Yeah, if, like, I can see the path they're setting them up on, if they do decide to continue the story, because you do have Darian's, like, raw, just, like, conviction and, like, willingness to pounce to it, which, like, yeah, I can see that being the leader of a rebellion, whereas Devra is much more, like, level-headed and organized, where it's like, yeah, I can see you kind of need both halves to make a true following. So I hope we get that. You know, I don't know I don't know how it's doing. I don't know how the Rebel Moon franchise is doing.
I don't know either, man.
So we'll
This
find out.
comic isn't like perfect, and honestly, there's some like structural pacing issues with it. Like, it bounces back and forth a lot. Our main character is kind of a pathetic bitch.
Yeah.
It kind of promises things it doesn't actually deliver on. Like, I think there's a few issues in this, like some of the issues for the covers of the comic, like showed Deborah and Darian as their Rebel Moon selves, and every issue I was like, oh cool, are we jumping like a bit? No, we're still here.
Yeah, I feel like that's going old school comic, where it's just like, hey, here's a cool cover, and it's like, does it have anything to do with the story? No. And it's like, oh.
I think by issue 3 or 4, Darian finally has his like longer hair, and he's a bit older. He looks a bit more like the movie.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting there.
It's almost Ray Fisher, but he's not quite.
Not quite. Where's Ray Fisher's narrative podcast? Give me that.
Yeah, honestly, I'll listen to no, wait, would you call it a narrative?
Yeah.
God,
listen,
end me.
I gotta appeal to the execs.
Help me.
But yeah, I'd say if you like the movies, buying this comic, giving it a read. I mean, it helps inform more of the world. You get sort of like a different view of the events in the galaxy that were happening as a result of that filthy traitor Artheleus killing the blessed Princess Issa.
You're so right.
A bit more Titus. You get some more Jimmy stuff, Seneschal reference.
I love that it was all building to Seneschal.
It's all building to Seneschal. Dude, I love because this and then the director's cut of part 2 has Seneschal, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Seneschal is so important.
The Seneschal, it's the glue that binds us all together.
It's true.
Speaking of narrative audio dramas, so the other week we were talking about Alien Romulus, a movie that came out. People saw it.
Yes.
I did. I can't wait to go back again when my hubby's home.
There you go.
But the movie, I had this in a tab I had open. Where the fuck is it? Sorry, I have like 18 tabs I wanted to talk about.
No, I feel you.
Never mind. I remember it off the top of my head anyway. It opened to, I think it's now surpassed 200 million at the box office. Maybe
Wonderful.
more. Alien Romulus.
I hope more. How much was it?
Box office. Oh, it was a cheap movie. Was it? I think the movie costs less than they're paying Robert Downey Jr. to come back for Doctor Doom.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean it's cheap. But it was produced for 80 million, so in theory,
yes.
Yeah, it's just over 200, so it should have
226 worldwide, yeah.
Yeah, should have made some profit by that point.
Definitely.
I know you gotta double the budget to include marketing, and then you gotta go like 3/4 of the box office because it's split with the theaters. So
I don't know for this movie because there's not a lot of marketing.
Yeah, but also 80 million is pretty cheap marketing.
Yeah, it is. But because of this, I've been going on an alien spree. And one of the ways I've been doing this, I started listening to the audio drama Alien Out of the Shadows, which takes place between Alien and Aliens. Okay. At some point, I think 30 years into Ripley's journey, another ship is having some problems with an alien that attaches itself to a person and drops a seed in their tummy. Right. And then Ripley's, ship, goes and docks with them. And you find out that apparently, she woke up between Alien and Aliens. You find out she has a daughter named Amanda.
Right.
And this all comes back in Isolation. It's very funny because the opening like narration from Ripley in the audio drama, they take that and they put that into the opening of Alien Isolation.
That's so funny. What a stealth expanded universe they've built.
It was surreal because I just listened to the first 3 episodes. I went and I downloaded Alien Isolation. I started playing it, and like immediately I was like, "Oh my god, it's in the fucking audio drama." You can see my live reaction over at Joss and Possum where I played some of it. So plug. Yeah. But yeah, so she woke up 30 years into her journey, and apparently, Ash had uploaded part of his personality matrix onto her ship.
Oh, piss.
And was monitoring for and basically kept her out there for so long, looking for other people who had an alien problem, so he could go and get a specimen and bring it back home to Weyland-Yutani.
God damn.
And so because of this, her ship's engines run out. So I think about the part of the audio drama where they have to get a new power cell to her ship, which does help explain why she floated for 57-ish years between movies, because before it's like, you know, you kind of accept it, but it's also like she might have run out in that time.
Sure.
So we get that, and Ash is played by Rutger Hauer.
Whoa. Okay.
And it's because he's talking out of the ship's onboard speaker, and this is the voice that the ship has.
Interesting.
It's a cute way to be like, it's not Ian Holm, because it's coming out of a different voice box because it's a robot, but it's still Ash.
When was this made? Do you know, the audio drama or the
I do. You mean the narrative podcast?
Yeah, forgive me.
Out of the Shadows. So it was a book. It was a novelle.
Yeah. That
came out in 2014. And then they produced it into an audio drama in 2016.
Okay. Because I was like, had he just passed by that point? Because I can't imagine a reality where Rutger Hauer would come cheaper than Ian Holm.
Rutger Hauer passed away in 2019.
No, I mean Ian Holm.
I think Ian Holm's 2020.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, so that's weird. I don't know why they couldn't just get Ian Holm.
Apparently, according to Ian Holm's wife, the reason why she was down with him appearing in Romulus was because Hollywood gave him the cold shoulder and apparently was like blacklisting him. And now, if that extends to audio dramas, I don't know.
Yeah, that seems a little off the beaten path from Hollywood, but maybe.
But if some people out there had like a fucking hard on for stopping Ian Holm from getting work,
damn,
it makes a sort of sense. Still shitty.
Yeah.
Makes sort of sense.
Well, thanks Peter Jackson for still including him in The Hobbit. That's a real homie.
That's a real homie, bro.
Yeah.
I wonder. I'd have to look at his roles, but yeah, and the cast is all pretty good so far. The person who plays Ripley does not have a Wikipedia page.
Oh man!
But it has Matthew Lillis, who was Neville in Harry Potter.
Okay.
Which is funny that the 2 audio dramas I'm listening to right now have Neville and Lucius.
Yep. And Dean.
And Dean, that's right. And then one of the main characters in the audio drama is played by Corey Johnson, who is not a name I expect you to remember off the top of your head.
No.
But he's the dude in The Mummy. He's the last of all the Americans to die with the arm sling.
I vaguely recall him, I think.
In The Mummy?
Yeah.
You're not like me and you remember every single frame of The Mummy?
No, it's been too long since I've rewatched it, to be perfectly honest.
Let me drop you a. Hold on. Where's our Shuttlecast?
I can also just look him up.
You could. You could. Corey Johnson.
Corey Johnson.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah. That's who I envisioned. I was like, okay. It's not the one who's.
It's not bourbon
chaser.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the other one.
It's the other one. It's the one who goes and gets the bourbon.
But they're all very good.
Yeah. There's one that's like a Cajun character, and after like watching Gambit and then watching actual like footage of Cajun people, it's not the most convincing Cajun accent.
Sure.
Now that I've actually heard how Cajuns speak.
But it's future Cajun, so it's a little.
You're
derivative.
right. It's future Cajun. It's
right.
it's degraded in the years.
yeah, that's life.
But lots of audio drumming.
Yeah, it's funny because I also got the alien kick from Alien Romulus.
Oh.
And I decided to go through the Alien versus Predator timeline and watch all of the movies, short films, and things in chronological order. So today I actually just marathoned Prey, Predator, and Predator 2.
That's fantastic.
That was a lot of fun, you know?
Those are some good fucking movies.
Predator 2 is always subsequently better and worse than I remember.
It's such a sweaty movie.
It's a very sweaty movie.
Dude, everyone's like, I like the bit where they have like changes of shirts and they're like desk drawers.
Yeah. Well, it's 109 fucking degrees.
It's like the
heat wave, baby.
It's the hottest movie. It's like it's hotter than Dune.
Yeah. It's so funny that Predator and Predator 2 like put in so much work to be like, hey, they come when it's really hot, and it's like, okay, that must be like something to do with like climate and what they're accustomed to. And we get to Alien versus Predator, and it's like, oh yeah, they built their temple in Arctic, and it's like, what? And they're like killing people in the snow, and it's like, are you doing okay? I assume you were cold-blooded. but yeah,
apparently. Speaking of,
I love Danny Hudson being able to intimidate a group of predators. It's great. He gets the French pistol back from Prey, as we've now seen. It's all one story.
Wasn't it so shallow of Prey to do such a needless callback in a great movie?
Wait, what? Repeat that.
Wasn't it so shallow of Prey to do such an obvious callback in their movie? Why can't they just stand on their own 2 feet, huh?
Shoot this motherfucker!
It's an Alien Romulus bit.
It is. It's true. Well, the difference is that I don't think I don't know where Predator stands in the Predator fandom. I always assumed it's kind of the redheaded stepchild, but then the Predator came in, so it had to have upped its stock a little bit.
Fuck. Wait, the Predator upped its stock?
Yeah. By
being
filling
so
out
awful?
the bottom.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Precisely.
Because Predator 2, Prey, and Predators, pretty good movies.
Those are all very solid. I do think that the voodoo gang plot in Predator 2 goes on for a little too long.
See, I think it should have gone on even longer.
See, I'm in that where like the second half of the movie where it's like, hey, we have this, we have the government organization that wants to collect the Predator. That's when I'm like, oh, this is kind of interesting.
Yeah, fuck, dude, I love the Predator series. I've never watched The Predator, and I think it's probably for the best that I've completely fucking dodged that one.
Yeah, don't do it.
I think I feel really good never watching it, and never. I mean, doesn't have Boyd Holkenbrook though. I kind of want to see him, but that's about it.
That's the thing is he's so good, and
he always is, bro.
He's working around just this awful material, but he is so good, and like, yeah, it's it's so hard to outact shitty dialogue, but by God, he really does try. He's
good at kind of hamming it up. Like he's definitely he's a saving grace in Indiana Jones 5.
Oh fuck. For a second my brain was like, wait a minute, he's not in the Temple of Skull, or the
Temple of Skull Island.
Yeah, the Temple of Skull. he's not in Crystal Skull, but then I was like, oh wait, no, fuck, there's one more.
He also helped save Vin Diesel's Bloodshot.
Oh, I need to see Bloodshot.
That was the last film I saw before COVID lockdown.
I remember. Yeah, it was like a week later, and it was like, holy shit.
I'm like, at least I saw Bloodshot. Speaking of Predator, yeah, you didn't think I was gonna have one ready for you, did you? Dan Trachtenberg,
yeah,
who made Prey,
yeah,
his next Predator movie has begun filming.
yeah,
It's called Badlands.
yeah.
It's gonna be set in the future, sometime in the future. It didn't say when. And it stars Elle Fanning.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I knew about the movie. I didn't know about the casting.
Yeah, and the fact that it's already fucking filming.
Yeah, that's great. And it's in the future, which like I've kind of been wanting, because that is the sad thing with the Alien Predator timeline is the way I have it, you get like the first short that ties into Prometheus, and then Predators, and then it's nothing but Alien from then on out. So it's like, oh man, we couldn't get something like, I don't know, 50 or 100 years in the future. Come on.
No. But now something.
Now a little something.
Now we're gonna get a little bit of something. Yeah, that's fucking hype.
Yeah, and I've also heard, I forget if we've discussed this, I don't think on the show. But you know, Dan Trachtenberg and Fede Alvarez have been like, hey, it would be fun to try Alien versus Predator again. And it's like, if you guys did it, holy shit.
They're like jokingly putting it out there, but probably secretly really wanting it to happen.
Yeah, and I'm like, do it, please do it.
It'd be too good is the problem. It'd be too fucking great.
That would be the first, like, I would want Alien versus Predator, but in 2 parts. It's not adapting anything, but but like the story is just so juicy that, like, you know, make it a big 2-part movie.
Right. And you get Fede to film all the Alien stuff, and you get Dan to film all the Predator stuff, and
exactly,
and they meet in the middle. It's good.
That's right.
I also have to, if anyone can hear my cat, I'm very sorry. It's an hour before his feeding time, which to him means it's his feeding time.
Naturally.
But yeah, that's fucking dope. More Predator is good. I mean, I like how they're just giving Dan Trachtenberg the Predator series. Like, yeah, bro, you know what you're doing. We're not gonna fuck with you.
Yeah, no, he fucking nailed it. I was so surprised with how good Prey is. Like, upon rewatching it, obviously I haven't seen all of them, and I could be forgetting something, but I feel pretty confident in saying that Prey is probably the best streaming exclusive movie I've ever seen.
That'd be a good, like, discussion. Yeah. Like, find what's the best streaming exclusive?
Because Prey, that feels like it could be in theaters.
Originally, Romulus was going to be a streaming movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is wild.
I think
it's paying off that it's not. I don't know, Nathan. You think Prey is better than Rebel Moon?
Ooh, for the 3 other members of the Rebel Moon fan base that have gathered here to listen to us suck it off, I am sorry. I do have to say that Prey is probably better than Rebel Moon.
I would probably have to agree with you.
Yeah.
Not that Rebel Moon is, it helps that Prey is a complete, solid, tight movie.
Exactly.
Rebel Moon is trying to do a lot of things.
It's an hour 40 of a simple movie versus 6 hours of
a very not simple but simple movie.
Yes.
It's simple, but then it has all the surrounding cloud. Like, in this movie, there's no sense of, like, who the predators, the Yajuta or whatever are. It's just, there's a fucking thing in the woods.
Yeah. And really my only complaint about Prey is just how just completely evil the French trappers are. Like, there's no character depth there. That they're kind of caricatural, but everything else is like,
I mean, they're French. I don't know what you're expecting here.
Shit, you're right.
Got him. Um. Anyway,
I am French.
I am French. Let's dip into some other franchises that have gotten reboots and sequels. The Crow opened with $4.6 million domestically.
That's great.
The budget was $50 million. That's,
man.
you know.
Is it getting the Borderlands treatment?
Yeah. At least with Borderlands, it had like an amount of people that had played the games in the last decade. With the Crow, man, the Crow's no disrespect to the Crow, but it's a pretty crusty old franchise.
Yeah. This is the fifth Crow film to be made. If anyone has seen all
2
5
through 4.
yeah.
Or even 1. I mean, it's a great movie, but
yeah.
like,
it's a cult classic.
Yeah, it's a cult classic.
Yeah, and it's a true cult classic, not I'm trying to think of other ones like older Tarantino films. People say are cult classics, and it's like no, like they're just popular.
No, like if you meet a Crow fan, whoa.
Yeah,
it's like a
be a
Moon
little
fan.
Concerned, but also like that's oh man.
Sorry.
There's definitely no one that's seen all 4 entry films of Rebel Moon and all 5 Crow films.
No. You gotta pick one.
Yeah, that's too much.
It's too much. But yeah, that film fucking bombed. But you know what's a film that's not even gonna get... There's also another film out there, by the way, that is a reboot of an older cult movie that is not even getting the chance to bomb in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard about Peter Dinklage's The Toxic Avenger remake?
I remember it being announced. I haven't heard any news.
All right, let me fill you in on this movie, okay? So
yeah,
Peter
please.
Dinklage is a great guy. We love him here. A known friend of the show. Apparently the movie's been done.
Yes, I have heard that.
The trailer apparently came out over a year ago.
Yep.
It apparently has a 92% of Rotten Tomatoes. And it's how many people actually reviewed it? I should look that up. Hold on.
It is very important. Is that a 92% critic score?
Yes, let me make sure that I was reading off of a thing, but let me do my research just to make sure I'm not... Okay. Also, by the way, yeah, Peter Dinklage, Elijah Wood, Kevin Bacon, good cast. Yes, it's only critics.
Yeah.
With 25 reviews.
False face. That's that's I don't believe. See, so for me personally,
right?
The Toxic Avenger. That is a film that Katie actually introduced me to. She was a big fan of it. And I watched it and I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. Got the other. I think there's 3 more movies. We watched those and oh boy. The 4th one is pretty good. But yeah, the original is very dumb, schlocky fun. And so when I heard about the remake with Peter Dinklage, my heart kind of sank because it's Peter Dinklage, but it's also Elijah Wood and Kevin Bacon, so maybe it could be good.
Like there's a balance there.
And then nothing. So what is this new news that you are keeping out of Salvatore?
Yeah, so apparently Peter Dinklage has no idea when it's going to come out.
Okay.
Hopefully it will have its day in the toxic sun. Is a direct quote. So it's kind of wild that there's this movie that, I mean, Hollywood's been doing this for like a hot minute now in the last couple of years, where they'll have a movie that is like technically ready to go. Like just press the upload button and we're good. But they're just not putting it out. They're sitting on it.
Very bizarre. Warner Brothers specifically has like a lot of those now.
Yeah, I wonder if this film has a company. I should look this up. Does it have a company? Because like if it's Warner Brothers, that's just the whole picture right there.
I understand. Yeah, it's not like what's the fuck Iron Lung that's just looking for a distributor.
Yes, that's different.
Yeah.
Distributed by Legendary Entertainment. I mean, you could say it's being distributed, but I can't watch it, so I don't know about that. Legendary.
Who the fuck are you?
You know, they did like 300 and stuff, I think.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you know, they do movies. Are they
It's a
owned?
collaborator with Warner Brothers.
I read that. But... Yes, indeed. Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Interstellar. Yeah. So they do movies.
They do movies.
Dune. Part 1 and 2. Yeah. So clearly it's a production I mean, they clearly distribute movies, so what the fuck? Yeah, it's just this weird, like, I don't know, this, Batgirl, the Roadrunner movie. I think a whole, I think Scoob 2 was done.
Oh. Yeah.
It's a couple others, man.
I heard that, like, because I think John Cena is in that Roadrunner movie, and they were, like, fighting hard to get, like, every screening was, like, people were loving it.
Everyone that they showed off to, it was perfect.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, but we're just not going to release it. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, apparently Warner Brothers wanted, like, an exuberant amount of money, and then they were like, well, are you open to negotiations? And they just wouldn't call back. It's like, what are you doing? People want to give you money.
Fucking shit, man.
You idiots.
This is why John Cena's doing his retirement tour. You know, he's been burned too much by Hollywood recently.
Yeah, man, I feel that. Fucking hell. So, in more depressing news, did you know they're making a Spaceballs too?
Yeah, I did hear that being announced.
Written by Josh Gad.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's
man, what's happening, bro? They're really digging the bottom of the barrel with old properties. They fucking just the other month like dug up Time Bandits.
Yep.
Hulu tried to do History of the World Part 2. No one saw that. Did you even know what happened?
No, it's Greek to me.
Yeah, they made a History of the World Part 2. Where the whole joke with part 1 is. It's a Mel Brooks movie.
Oh, okay.
It's a Mel Brooks like history comedy, and the whole joke is it's called History of the World Part 1. And there was no intention of a part 2. That was like part of the joke. But of course, it's like a Hulu miniseries or whatever with all your favorite modern comedians. Even though modern, but like they're all like comedians that were from like 2002 SNL.
Yeah.
You know, do with their shticks.
Well, I know that in Spaceballs they make the joke of Spaceballs 2: The Search for More Money, and you know, here it is.
Here it is.
Like, I feel like the pendulum is somewhat swinging back now, where, you know, before we were getting like a bunch of sequels, a bunch of reboots, a bunch of remakes, and then like most recently, like in the like late 2010s, 2020s, we were getting the era of the soft reboots where it's like, oh, it's kind of a remake, but it is also kind of a sequel to the original, so it all fits.
And we got one old actor back to play a new character or something.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that. I feel like the soft reboot is finally kind of dying out, and we're going back. We're back to straight remakes and sequels, and you know, hey, maybe by the end of it, we'll get back to just making original content for the most part. Like, oh god,
no, because people would rather go see Deadpool and Wolverine and not go see Strange Darling, and that's the problem with society.
That is the problem with society. That's
because
true.
Why would I go see Strange Darling when I can go see Wolverine? I like Wolverine.
Well, hey, at least we might get Deadpool and Gambit out of that. You know, to be fair, there's hope.
Yeah, they Ryan Reynolds released a little deleted shot scene of Gambit in the aftermath of the fight in Deadpool and Wolverine looking up at maybe like a Doctor Strange teleport circle.
Yeah, he survived.
Yeah, I think I made the when we first were talking about Deadpool and Wolverine in our first like podcast reviewing it, I said like of all the characters in that final fight, he was the only one to not get like scathed.
Yeah.
Like everyone else, like I think Blade got hit, Elektra got hit, but then Gambit was fine because he's the fucking goat, mon ami.
Yeah, but made a name for himself.
I named him as a Shabao and a gumbo.
God.
Some things are, you have some things that are pretty bad that are like, remake sequels, or we're like, why would you fucking do that? There's other stuff where you're like, yes, give me a remake or a sequel to that. One of them is Edgar Wright is remaking Running Man based on the Stephen King story.
Oh.
Starring current Hollywood superstar Glenn Powell.
Oh. I don't know who that is.
He was in Twisters, which I don't know if I ever actually talked about. I think we totally jumped Twisters.
I think you did.
I need to talk about that in a sec. He's in Twisters. He's in Top Gun Maverick. He's the guy in Dark Knight Rises where Bane attacks the stock exchange, and he's like, "There's no money here." And then Bane's like, "Then what are you people doing here?" That's Glenn Powell. He's also in Spy Kids 3D.
Long-fingered boy.
He's one of the kids.
Okay. All right.
He's a Hollywood trooper. He's been grinding for years. And now he's a big old name. Tom Cruise has shown him in press tour photos how to properly hold the popcorn bucket in frame to show that you love movies and popcorn like him. He's passing the torch.
That's good. Is he the next Tom Cruise?
He's the next Tom Cruise.
Okay, all right.
He's great. I have to watch more of his stuff, but he was fantastic in Twisters.
Good.
Which, yeah, by the way, everyone should have. I mean, I think it's already on VOD because it's a modern movie, so it gets two days in theaters and it goes right to VOD.
Yeah.
But yeah, Twisters is fucking fantastic. It's a really fun movie. Like, it's not like the deepest movie. It's not There'll Be Blood, but do you want a fun movie where characters are like, shit, those are some fucking Twisters?
Yeah, I mean, it's a sequel to Twister. Well, I don't know what else you would expect.
And it's a sequel where it's like, it kind of has a bit of what I wish Romulus did, where it didn't quite call back. Like, no one in Twisters is like the fucking like son or daughter of a character from Twister.
That's good.
Like, it's just, hey, it's another movie about Twisters and people chasing them. And it's like, thank you. I don't have to like, worry about continuity from a film I saw once in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, I think I heard that like the only like through line is that they have the same like the next gen Twister charting tech where they release the balls into the Twister.
They have the Dorothy thing that sends the balls up. That's about it.
Yeah.
And then even then, like if you're a new audience member, you're just like, oh, that's funny because Dorothy goes into a Twister.
Yeah. It works out well.
There's no like, oh yeah, there's no moment where some random old person actor shows up with like triumphant music and you're like, oh, is that supposed to be, am I supposed to know what that is?
Well, it's because, when you think of Twister, who do you think? Bill Paxton. You can't. You know.
Or Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, I forgot he was in it.
That's okay. It wasn't one of his, where's the rabbit's foot?
No, I just think of Finger of God.
Yeah, it's that too. That too. At least when Fall Guy had a triumphant returning actor from the original thing, they waited till after the movie was over, after the credits.
That is good.
I was like, oh, am I supposed to? This was after the movie though. It wasn't like a, hour in. You're like, who the fuck?
Yeah.
Why are we giving triumphant music to Ash's dad from Ash vs. Evil Dead? What's happening? I'm very confused.
Oh man.
Yeah, but everyone should have gone and seen Twisters. I mean, it's not like an original movie, but I mean, it's a good one. It's not like it's fucking like Star Wars 85 where you're like, oh god, another one of these motherfucking things.
Yeah.
It's Twisters.
Yeah,
And Running Man, I guess, with Edgar Wright. And he's good.
he is good. He knows his stuff. I also watched from my one of the good things I watched this last week.
Oh.
I watched the original 1931 Dracula with Bela Lugosi, the famous prequel to Renfield, and it's a masterpiece.
I don't know. I didn't expect that.
I did actually watch them back to back, which was a glorious.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I had a much deeper appreciation for the scenes that they recreated with Nicolas Cage and Nick Holt.
So I should probably watch Bela Lugosi Dracula and then Renfield.
Absolutely. Yeah, Dracula 31 is it's like 80 minutes. It's got that crispy book adaptation where it's like we gotta fucking go, but like there's so much visual storytelling. Like it's one of those films that you watch where it's like, oh, I love cinema. I love when you properly frame a shot and like are able to convey a feeling without having it beating you over the head. It's just it's so fucking good.
Hell yeah, brother. I miss 80-minute movies.
They're a lot of fun. It turns out you can do a lot in 80 minutes.
You can if you pace that shit right. Like I like 8 months ago when it was like Christmas time, I watched Nightmare Before Christmas. I kind of want to say Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm so I don't know why. Nightmare Before Christmas, and it's like like an hour and 12 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god, it was amazing. I'm like, thank you, it's over. That's so good. I mean, I love long movies, but when you like get that pacing down.
I gotta make a confession that will get me kicked out of the film community. Fucking hate Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay, I can understand maybe like not liking it, but you hate it.
I hate it.
Are you exaggerating for the bit?
No,
I
thank you. It's for me it's a deeply unenjoyable experience, and I'd rather watch Corpse Bride any day of the week.
I mean, I'm not gonna follow you on that.
Yeah.
But it's a deeply unenjoyable experience. It's because you're like, why is the character who's depressed going to arc where he's now full of whimsy and joy? He should be upset the whole movie.
That's what it is. No, it's I don't. I think that Jack Skellington is very stupid. And
is he stupid?
Well, and that's hard to watch for 80 minutes where it's like I don't know.
Well, it's a movie. Why are you thinking about it so much?
You're right.
Thanks, Oz Perkins.
Oh shit!
I will never stop kicking Oz Perkins.
I like it when I can see the devil. That's my takeaway from Long Legs.
I liked it when I saw the devil in the background.
Yeah, anytime I saw the devil,
That was great.
I popped for the devil.
But every other time,
Help me.
I was hovering over that. That's fucking funny. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and strongly defend Nightmare Before Christmas. I enjoyed it.
No, I know it's beloved. I think I'm a fringe weirdo on that take.
You are, but I mean, I understand. I mean, I kind of disliked the Rebel Moon comic because the main character was such a fucking bitch the whole time.
Yes, I feel that completely.
I mean, it's kind of how I feel about this. Is such a deep hole. No one's gonna get it. Kamen Rider Agito. Main character's so fucking stupid, I couldn't do it. And I like a lot of stupid Kamen Rider main characters, but Agito was just a fucking moron.
It's fair. See, like I think you have to write a very specific way when you have a stupid character. But then again, I don't know if the people making Nightmare thought that Jack was a stupid character.
Oh,
Because
you're right.
You watch something like SpongeBob or The Simpsons, where it's like,
They get
yeah,
it.
Homer's an idiot, but the writing is intelligent.
Yes, it's using Homer or Peter Griffin's idiocy to say something deeper.
Yes, precise. It's taking an idiot to a complex issue to make light of it, where it's
Yes.
like, okay, well, you need to understand what you're poking fun at in order to poke fun at it. So I understand that you know what you're talking about. But like, I don't know, just watching Jack Skellington make a horrific mockery of Christmas and no one realized that this is bad throughout, I'm just like, oh fuck. I gotta wait till the end. And then the end of the movie, he's just like, hey, I like doing Halloween. I'm gonna keep doing that. And I'm like, you should be in fucking jail, motherfucker.
He should. And those fucking kids, too.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Shoot this motherfucker.
Me to the little kids that went on a fucking tirade.
I'm gonna rub chilies into your eyes.
Fuck. All right, we should. All right, so
Oogie Boogie's the best, I will say.
Oogie Boogie's great, man. Yeah,
he's the best part of the movie.
The hype, the build up to Oogie Boogie is fantastic. It's funny. I remember I think a year or two ago, I was at the store. I was at the Barnes and Noble because I'm a dork, and I went to the Barnes and Noble, and they had a book on sale, which was like a book sequel to Nightmare Before Christmas, where it was all about like Sally being like the Pumpkin Queen or something.
Oh. Are you sure you weren't actually at a Hot Topic?
No, let me help you out here. Oh my god, I was at. Oh wait, oh my god, Nightmare, not Night Before, Nightmare. Jesus Christ! And now it's showing me the actual book. I was at. I found it. Okay. Hold on. We're so good. We're so back. I think. We're back. I was at not a Hot Topic. I was at they have another branch of stores called Box Lunch, which is owned by Hot Topic.
Oh yeah.
And they were selling Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, but not the Hot Topic. So I hit them both because I'm a dork.
Yeah.
No, this August 2nd, 2022. Long live the Pumpkin Queen, Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. All about Sally Skellington. I guess.
Yeah,
it's 320
they must have
pages.
floated that to see if they can make the sequel film,
There's also a whole bunch of other movie or books. The Villain series. All about different villains. What the fuck? Who's buying these? No offense. If you like them, I'm happy for you. I'm just like surprised.
Well, it's baby's first deconstruction.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Where it's like, wait, what if we saw things from the bad guy point of view? It's like, very good. All right, let's.
But they're not actually bad.
Fucking hell!
I hate that.
What if the bad guy was the good guy and the good guy was the bad guy? And it's like, do you have anything else to say? No.
I gotta find some stories where the bad guy is the main character and never gets redeemed.
Apparently, well, never. I don't know if this counts. I do need to read the Darth Bane trilogy.
I also need to read Darth Bane.
I hear that's good.
Yes.
Like he is the protagonist, but he's also a piece of shit.
We always talk about reading through some of the Star Wars books, and it never comes to fruition.
It's true.
You gotta get on that.
Make
a little book club. do some updates every week of where we're at.
Well, I'm trying to reread through the stuff that I know I like. Like I would love to revisit Mistborn and
Oh, me
uh,
too. Especially because
the
I
Way of
bought
Kings.
I bought that 8th book, and I got like a third of the way through, and I was like, I don't remember a fucking thing from before.
I know. I looked up Brandon Sanderson's bibliography, and I was like, I don't remember what I read last.
No, because every month he has a new book out.
Yeah, exactly.
Bad
like
bastard.
I saw something that was like, this is part 5 of the first arc of Stormlight Archive, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, and also I'm subscribed to his YouTube channel, but I haven't watched any videos in a while because I'm so like behind on everything.
Yeah.
And the man is like doing like tabletop games and other shit, and fuck me, dude. Like what the fuck's the Sunlit Man? You being the Nightmare Painter?
The man's a machine.
What?
I swear, like,
What
the
are
future
these?
version of him went back and just gave himself all the manuscripts so he can dish it out regularly while making more things.
Bro, it's a little wild. It's kind of like bullshit, but
I swear it actually takes Brandon Sanderson like 3 years to write a book. He's just gamed the system so that he gets it out quicker.
yeah, because I don't know what the fuck else is happening up in here.
He's dropping like 2 or 3 books a year, and I'm like, how?
Yeah,
How do you
last
do
year
this?
he dropped 3 books.
It's like if Stephen King wasn't a hack. Where it's like, oh, there's 2 Stephen King books this year. Yeah, I get that because he cranked them both out in 3 months.
Yeah, and this here is the 5th Stormlight book. I think I'm like a third through the 2nd one. Jesus Christ! Nice little Brandon Sanderson hour. Let's finish on a little segment on the call. Hey, did you know Keanu Reeves is in this?
Yeah.
So we got the trailer for Sonic 3, baby.
I'm in love. I love it.
It looks perfect in every way. Jim,
What an interesting thing. You remember the trailer for the first trailer for the first Sonic?
I get reminded all the time.
Yeah, no, like I can't believe that. Yeah, like that we're getting a trilogy that all seems pretty good. I haven't watched the Knuckles series, but
we should pregame with Knuckles. Yeah, we should watch the Knuckles show.
It's true. I don't want to be behind.
I want to get caught up.
Yeah. I didn't watch Loki season 2 for Deadpool and Wolverine, and that apparently would have made the movie. So,
hey, according to our comments section, you missed out on fucking plot critical information that would have explained how the anchor being is actually a good mechanic and not the worst thing ever.
That sounds like a tall order.
Listen,
I'd be very surprised if the writers of Loki season 2 could convince me of that.
I don't even think like a good writer could pull off the anchor being thing.
No, if you put that on Brandon Sanderson's plate, he'd be like, I don't think I can do this. I think this breaks many things.
He's like, I know I'm Mormon, but that shit's ridiculous. Like, that's stupid.
He's working on his Mistborn movie, and the executives are like, hey, what if we made Vin the anchor being of this reality? And he's like, what the fuck did you say to me? I'm sorry, what did you say to me? He doesn't curse.
Yeah, he doesn't curse. That's potty mouthing.
He's a good Mormon boy.
But Sonic 3 looks phenomenal. Shadow looks and sounds great.
So good.
I was telling this to you, I think, just when we were just chatting, as friends do, not when we're being recorded for posterity.
Right.
That I'm in the depths of my Cyberpunk 2077 rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Because I kind of started it like a year ago, and then like it was in the lead up to the DLC, which like changed the entire fucking game, and it really did. So I kind of like restarted recently because I gave it some time to get like updates, because it's still Cyberpunk, so they don't get the best launches, because it's a very big and complex game. But I'm going through it right now, And like I like Keanu Reeves as an actor. I wouldn't say he's like the best performer. Like I enjoy him as Neo. I enjoy him as John Wick, but like, you know, he's not the best actor in a lot of senses. He's a great physical actor. Like his great faces.
I think it really depends on the material. Because
Yes.
like if you give him like Devil's Advocate, he'll be great. But if you give him like Bram Stoker's Dracula, you know,
What's he doing?
what are you doing?
But like I've been playing through Cyberpunk, and he's like kind of like, you know, like one of the main characters. And he's with the player, like he's with your like player character for like the entire game.
Yeah.
And he's like always popping up to like comment on things. And the plot is that he's playing a character from old Cyberpunk lore who has his like, you know, personality matrix uploaded onto a thing called the Soul Stealer or whatever. And so his chip's in your character's head.
Oh, okay.
So he keeps popping up and like he's talking to you, and you're both kind of struggling with control over your own body. And he'll be commenting on stuff. Like I think last night I went onto like a dock, went on to check out a boat, and it was a fancy ass rich corpo boat, and Johnny shows up to like spew about how he hates fucking the corpos and rich people, how we should steal everything. And
wonderful.
So the whole game is just like Keanu Reeves commentary.
Yeah.
And his performance as Johnny Silverhand is fucking phenomenal. I think my favorite performance, which is weird because it's a whole game where you're listening to Keanu Reeves, which is not a thing you think would be a good experience.
No.
But like untethered from being on film, like he actually gives a really good vocal performance. I'm not sure what it is with him where it's like separately these two things are amazing, but together it's not like the best.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he must just have a whole different mentality when he's voice acting, which is good because you have a lot of actors that get thrown into voice projects and then don't really do anything.
like Peter Dinklage in Original Destiny.
Yes, 100%. Where it's like, you know, you like there's a very almost you almost need like 10% caricatural delivery when you're voice acting because it just needs to be more animated and bouncy than just you recording a conversation.
Precisely. Yeah, so I think he's doing a good job as Johnny Silverhand, but then from the few lines of this we got, he's fucking killing it as Shadow.
He's gonna be so good.
They're gonna shoot that girl.
I can't wait. That's the one thing we didn't see him with a gun in the trailer.
No, but we did see Maria.
We did. No, we're getting it all.
We're getting it, buddy.
We got to see the original Dr. Robotnik. Which is great.
I love that Jim Carrey was like, I'm gonna retire from Hollywood, but except for Sonic, which I'll play multiple characters.
That's so fucking funny because I remember that Sonic 2 came out. And then, like, shortly after, Jim Carrey announces, okay, I'm retiring. And we get the writing team and the creative team behind Sonic working on Sonic 3. And they're like, listen, we're gonna make our script. We're going to send it his way. And what happens, happens. And then, no, he was like, no, I'll fucking come back for Sonic 3. It's like, thank God.
Thank you. Thank you so fucking much. Sweet Jesus.
Because the first Sonic, that really was a return to form for Jim Carrey. I'm not I'm not a huge Jim Carrey stan, but like I do think that he has a lot of great iconic roles that he's done, and you know he's got a very distinct style. I do think that he kind of slowed down in like the mid 2000s, 2010s, but then fucking Sonic came around, and I was like, holy shit, he's back, baby.
Back and better than ever, bro. Like, holy fucking shit, dude.
Yeah, he did so good, and then he came back for 2. That was great, and he's coming back. He's not retired from Robotnik. He's just retired from acting.
Yep. If it's not a role with Sonic the Hedgehog, I don't want a fucking seat on my desk. Get out of my sight.
I can't wait for maybe. Oh man, so I feel like in the Sonic 3 trailer they kind of tease that maybe Shadow killed James Marsden. I feel like
Yeah. Oh my
that's
God,
what
what's
they're
happening
trying
with
to say.
Pookie? Is he okay?
I don't know, but I wonder if he's actually going to kill Robotnik, and then the two birds with one stone. Where it's like, okay, we don't have to worry about Jim Carrey coming back anymore, as much as I love him.
Yes.
But we're free to make more Sonic movies without the elephant in the room about Robotnik. So it's like, okay, all right.
And then Agent Stone can step up.
There we go. Yeah, he's still around, baby.
It's a great character. Agent Stone's fantastic.
I get all of the human characters that they have in Sonic that you would think would be so like either annoying or just boring.
I love them, man.
So well.
The wedding subplot in the second movie was so fucking funny.
I was on the fence with it the first time I watched. My more recent rewatch, I was like, no, this is fucking great.
This is perfect.
I've heard that there's a little bit too much human stuff in the Knuckles series. I'll have to see.
I kind of expect that though, because it's a show.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I know I think it's also Paramount, but the Ted show was apparently super fucking expensive.
Oh, really?
And to be fair though, it's like the best looking fucking CGI show I've ever seen. Like fuck House of the Dragon, fuck Game of Thrones. Like Ted in Ted is like a fucking marvel. You forget he's CG sometimes.
You love that.
Like you're so in it, you're like, oh fuck, that's right, Ted's not real.
Yeah.
It's such a, and I think the Knuckles show is also Paramount.
Yes, it's Paramount Plus exclusive.
So if they want to focus more on the human stuff, I see it because it's a show. I get it.
Yeah, and also like I do fucking love Idris Elba Knuckles, but I don't think that he could carry in the same way that Sonic can.
No.
In this world, if it was entirely, if we got like the Knuckles movie and we're all doing the crazy world that he's from, then sure, but. It's Knuckles on our Earth.
Yeah, if it was like the Knuckles in his tribe, that'd be one thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Not to be IMDb trivia boy, but isn't it so funny that Knuckles is voiced by Idris Elba, and he recently joined Cyberpunk 2077 as a character?
Oh my god! So these two actors that are on one project are also on another.
Isn't that so fucking crazy, dude?
Oh my god!
Did you see the bit?
I bet that has more upvotes than downvotes.
Did you see the bit in the Sonic 3 trailer where Shadow does the Akira bike slide? Did you know about the anime Akira?
Shoot this motherfucker.
Speaking of video game projects that Keanu Reeves is a part of that are being film and not video game, did you see the trailer for Secret Level?
I did. I feel like I'm not very familiar with most of the games that are going to be in it.
We're going to talk about it.
I like it conceptually.
We're going to talk about it. This will be our last topic of the day, and then we'll stop.
All right.
But I wanted to talk about this last week, but we sort of like had a lot to deal with. We had like 6 hours
of catching up. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a trailer for this Amazon show called Secret Level. And it's by the team that did Love, Death and Robots, which I've seen it from what I've seen of it is pretty good. It's like a Netflix short story anthology CGI animated show. So I thought you watched it, Nathan.
No, I haven't seen it. I've only heard good things, but also I kind of don't trust when I only hear good things about things. So
unless I tell you that, and then you're a little bit more trusting. Not completely.
Yeah, then I'm like, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. But if it's not, it's like, it's stupid. So this is a show that's basically, it's like every episode's going to be like a short story episode about a certain video game.
Yeah.
Or video game series or franchise or property. It's weird. I'm looking at the list right now, and I'm going to read it out to you. Don't look it up. Okay. So did you catch that Keanu Reeves is in it?
I did not see that.
And do you want to know which game story he's gonna be in? Keanu Reeves is in the Armored Core episode.
Oh, hey, I know that's a FromSoft game, but that's all I know.
You gotta love Keanu. Completely goated.
He's great.
Another voice role for Keanu. I'm eating so good right now. That's 3. Yum yum yum.
At this rate, he can cool off on main Hollywood and go into VA work.
I think this is a good transition for him, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting a bit older. He's not like, he's 59.
He's finally aging.
He's 59. He should probably start to move into like, I play old guys now, or I voice act.
Yeah.
Or both. Like
it's the Jonathan Colton Tom Cruise song, where someone else plays his sexy son, and it's like, oh,
I can't believe someone referenced Joko to me. That's my niche internet thing to reference. I knew I liked you, you saucy son of a bitch.
He's great.
This is why we're friends.
It is true.
So yeah, of all the From Software properties, they're doing Armored Core, which I think is great for them. It's like their longest running series.
True.
So good for them. So the second game they're doing is a game called Concord. So this is what's part of the trailer that's funny to me. It's like all your favorite game series, and a lot of these, neither of us are gonna know.
I have a sneaking suspicion it's all your favorite game series that we could cheaply afford.
And I'm attuned to this sort of stuff, kind of. Concord came out like 5 days ago.
Oh.
And is doing horribly numbers wise.
Uh-oh.
It's a PvP hero shooter. Oh. Those are not saturated at all.
No.
It got okay reviews, like 70% on Metacritic, but the player counts are like abysmal. It's like I wonder if I could check Steam DB right now, and it's probably gonna be a little embarrassing.
Sure.
Concord.
So it needs all the help it can get.
This needs help. Which is sort of how I feel about Armored Core. Like, I probably saw all their properties, and even though we probably could have gotten a Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, they're probably like, nah, let's get some eyes on Armored Core, and also get Keanu Reeves in there.
Yeah.
So Concord came out August 23rd. It currently has 200 players in a game. It's a multiplayer focused PvP game, and it's 7 p.m. and it has 200 players. So they need help.
That's a little low, yeah. That's about, that's approximately 200 people's favorite game, maybe. Maybe let's say 100. We'll say half of them love it.
Yes. Another game. The next game is called Crossfire. It's a South Korean online first-person shooter game that came out in 2007.
Okay.
I guess newer games have come out since then. But it's a very Korean, Asian focused demographic. So obviously we're not part of that.
Yeah, sure. South Korea needs all the help it can get. You know what I'm saying?
The last game that came out was Crossfire Sierra Squad, which was a PSVR game that came out a year ago.
All right. Well, hey, alive and well.
Yeah, so alive, so well. There's no Wikipedia page about it, but good for them. Yeah, I've never heard of this game in my life. I'll probably never hear of it. Apparently, it's like a comparable to Counter-Strike.
Okay,
that's nice.
All
right. So already we're going pretty good on our favorite video game series of all time.
Yeah, nailing it.
Next, they're adapting Dungeons and Dragons. Easy.
Hey, good. I've heard of that.
Perfect. Great. The next game is the only game on this list without a Wikipedia page. It's called Exodus.
Okay.
I don't know what this is.
Gods and Kings?
I see, that'd be funny, given the current really resurgence. Exodus
I'm
game.
glad he's I'm glad he's somewhat finding his role as more of a producer and like creative support. But then again, he also is making Gladiator 2, so maybe he isn't winding down.
Yeah. ExodusGame.com. Okay, they got a virus here. Whoa, it's a new AAA science fiction action adventure role-playing game franchise from Archetype Entertainment. This sounds
So
like
it's
they.
also new.
Yeah, it's also new. This isn't good when your trailer is like, this is new. This is like all your favorites, and you're like, cool, like old stuff I know, and they're like, no, stuff that is either coming out or not out yet.
So it's stuff that they could get for pennies on the dollar.
Yes, but only some of them. Some of them are pretty pretty good. All right, the studio came out in 2019. Veterans from BioWare 343, EA, Naughty Dog, and other AAA. All right, backed by Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro. So they got. Okay, they're like, hey, Hasbro was like, hey, we'll give you D&D and also prop up our new game Exodus.
Yeah.
All right, God of War. I've heard of that.
Hey, that's a thing.
That sounds cool. That sounds great. God of War is I think Amazon has the rights to do a God of War show.
Yes.
I heard they were getting a Wheel of Time guy to do it.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like this is very much a like stealth, like it's a marketing ploy for these games, but B, it's like a this is a show full of backdoor pilots.
Yes, that was my thought exactly. And originally I thought it was properties that people actually cared about, but
the trailer makes you think that.
It's true.
The next game is a pretty big one. It's called Honor of Kings. Yeah, it's like a mobile MOBA game from China.
Ooh.
It has like 1,000 composers. What the fuck?
Oh, okay.
All right, their composers include 2WEI, which is the guys who do the epic version of like songs for trailers.
Okay.
And then also then all the way down it has Howard Shore, Hans Zimmer, and Lorne Balfe, and I'm like, what the fuck?
They steal samples from their works, is what that tells me.
Or it's like China paid for like a crossover with like Lord of the Rings because the fucking Tolkien estate just sells out stuff for no money.
It's true.
And they probably have like a Howard Shore song in there for that. Anyway, yeah, all your favorite games, including Honor of Kings. Jesus. This is a really weird list. That's why I wanted to read it out to you. Next up, Mega Man.
Okay, that's an actual IP.
That's an actual. That I think is an accurate listing of all your favorite games.
I can see people saying a Mega Man is their favorite game.
Yeah.
Actually. Okay.
No one knows what Exodus. It's not even out yet. It can't be.
And it's a MOBA, so.
Hey, maybe this will inspire the Protomen to finish the third act.
Please.
We have a self-shill Amazon Game Studios' very own New World.
Yep.
Their failed MMO.
Yep.
Where you
that
could
has some Rebel Moon content. Or no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of something different. Never mind. Don't mind me.
That's okay. The game where you could like alt tab and then you would stop taking damage in the game because it ran client side and not server side. Anyway.
Oh. Okay.
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
I know what a Pac-Man is.
I don't know how you do a Pac-Man story, but
you adapt like one of the PS2 games where it was more of like an actual story and not like the Waka Waka Waka.
Wow, shit.
Remember those? You ever play those?
No.
No.
No, I no.
Really? Never played Pac-Man World?
No, no.
Never played Pac-Man World Rally?
No, I never had a PS2.
Oh, neither did I. I went to a friend's house and he had Pac-Man and I was like, oh.
Oh, I didn't have friends. So.
That was great.
Shit. We're almost done. The next game they're adapting is PlayStation.
But what?
Yep. All right. Anyway, yeah, it just says PlayStation.
Okay.
Sifu, which is a game I do know about, but I've not played.
Okay.
It's like, what if John Wick was a game?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have heard of Sifu. I have not played it myself. I've heard it's good. I'm sorry. Another game I've heard is good is Spelunky.
Oh.
Which came out in 2008. but is still. I mean, I mean, you know, I guess it's some people's favorite game.
It could be.
It was one of those like Xbox Live Arcade type games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. That's interesting.
It is.
Outer Worlds. Do you know what that is?
I think maybe I've just heard that term in sci-fi.
Yeah, it's by the Obsidian devs, the guys who did KOTOR 2 and
okay.
Fallout New Vegas.
Okay.
It was their own like their first like own first person full RPG that they did on their own. That wasn't like Bethesda saying, "Hey, could you make a sequel to a better game or make a better sequel to a game?"
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
So the next one. So I'll tell you the studio.
Okay.
See if you can guess the name of the game.
Mm.
This is a game franchise by Epic Games. What game do you think it is?
I don't know. I don't know. Isn't Epic the like new rival to Steam or some shit?
Epic made Fortnite.
Oh.
Epic made Gears of War.
Oh.
But no, we're gonna do Unreal Tournament.
Oh shit.
No disrespect to Unreal Tournament. I played it as a kid. I'm just surprised.
I recently heard that Unreal Tournament 2003 and 2004 was peak. And that the more recent stuff is poopy. So
I think I played 2004 when I was younger. I definitely played Unreal Tournament 3 a lot because I was on the 360.
Oh, okay.
And I played that a fair bit.
Mm.
There was supposed to be a new Unreal game in like 2014. They started making it, but then they canceled it to make Fortnite.
Yeah.
Which you could argue was a very big success.
It was, although I think I do remember hearing people saying like they had some stuff out with the 2014 game, like they had like a very early beta that looked promising.
Yeah.
And then it died.
Yeah. And so it's weird. There's not been a new game since 2007, but I guess we'll show it off in a big new showcasing.
Oh boy.
Interesting. You'd think that they want to get Fortnite in there, given like
the
fact that it's like the biggest game on the planet.
Maybe that would have been more expensive to get.
Yeah, they hit up Epic Games and they were like, "Hey, can we do a Fortnite short?" And they were like, "What's your budget?" And they were like, "This." And Epic was like, "We can give you Unreal Tournament."
Yeah, that's what. They're gonna profit handsomely from this because the fucking Unreal Tournament shit is gonna drop, and then there'll be a special on Fortnite where it's like, look, Unreal Tournament people, and it's like, oh fuck me, okay,
fuck. We should get an Unreal Tournament and play it together.
Yeah,
that'd be a fun time.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it at all, so
it's very distant for me. We should play it. It's very like you ever played Quake?
No,
never mind. And the last thing, Warhammer 40,000.
That's right. It does have the Warhammers.
You know, when I first saw the trailer, it was on Twitter. I didn't read the title. I just saw it autoplay. It opens with the Space Marines and it cuts to the Amazon logo. And for 5 beautiful seconds, I was like, oh my god, Henry Cavill's Warhammer show.
They hit you with the bait and switch.
Yeah, they open with Warhammer. It's so misleading.
It is.
Like, if this played in a movie theater, I would think for like a good minute, it was, or not a minute, but like, you know, there'd be enough seconds of deception to where I get pretty mad.
Yeah, I could see that.
Hopefully, I mean, we have to watch, I guess we have to just rewatch the Warhammer episode on repeat so that they greenlit the show.
Yeah, because I think that's struggling somewhere, isn't it? I feel like I think isn't there some issue sticking with Henry Cavill and them, because I assume that they're wanting to change things and he's like, no.
Yes, I think Henry Cavill wants to maintain certain things. I think Amazon wants to change some things, and if they don't reach an agreement by end of the year, it's like dead.
That's right. That's right.
And this show comes out December 10th. So they might be waiting to see the reception.
Oh, God.
They might be just holding off to see how the show does and see if everyone's like, my favorite episode was the Warhammer one. And they'll send Henry Cavill a letter in the mail saying, all right, kid.
Which,
put on the power
that's a
armor.
risky gamble.
It's so risky.
On the one hand, I would say that Warhammer 40,000 probably has the biggest fan base out of all these games that they're doing.
I would argue God of War and D&D probably have bigger ones, but yes.
That's fair.
Maybe
however,
Unreal, just kidding.
Yeah. However, I do feel that people nowadays, rightfully so, are very wary of adaptations, and particularly Amazon. So, it could get shat on, it could get praised, it could just get overlooked. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, what if the Exodus episode is just so good that no one pays attention to the Warhammer episode?
You're so right.
I hope the Warhammer short has Henry Cavill as the voice, and maybe even like the face actor too, like how they have Keanu in Armored Core.
Oh yeah,
that'd be a good hey, we're starting to do this thing.
That's the stinger.
Yeah, like, hey, did you like this? Please. But yeah, Secret Levels, it sounds fun. I think I'll probably watch the whole thing because it sounds interesting. But I'll probably skip to the ones I care about first.
Sure.
I'll definitely watch the Warhammer Armored Core, D&D, Unreal, and then after that, like, I'm not up to date on God of War, so I'm not sure if they're gonna like spoil me on the 5 games I haven't played.
Yeah,
that's a risk too.
It's true.
I think just with that one, because the rest aren't really story-based stuff. Like, you can set a D&D story wherever you want. Like, that doesn't matter. Like, we're in Neverwinter today, guys. What's happening with this beholder? Easy.
Man, I'm so sad that we failed the D&D movie as fans.
Fuck, we saw it, man.
We did. It was great. But now it's dead.
I'm really pissed because I think it would have been funny if we got a sequel and it was the same exact cast as different characters.
Oh, that would have been really good.
It would have been fucking hilarious.
Maybe it's getting that, streaming second life. I don't know.
Yeah, give it the budget of a Dragonheart movie.
Yeah, come on. Come on, pass over a couple bucks.
Please. Fuck, dude. That's depressing. Hey, good news. Nope. Hush is now available on digital after Netflix pulled it.
Oh, I don't know.
It's Mike Flanagan's movie about a deaf writer. It's a home invasion.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw a trailer for that.
Yes, Netflix. It was Netflix original. They picked it up, and then they after he left because their deal went up, they took it down. He's been fighting to get it back up. And now he has the rights. It's getting digital. I think it's getting a home release at some point too, like on Blu-ray.
That's good.
Mike Flanagan wins again. God bless America.
There we go.
And I know you've been wanting this for a while, Nathan, but did you know there's a new film in the Has Fallen franchise?
What?
Like London Has Fallen, those movies?
Who did this?
The Has Fallen movies, right?
I think I've heard
Olympus Has Fallen, Angel Has Fallen with Gerard Butler.
Yeah, and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah,
there's a new film in the Has Fallen series.
Oh shit! I gotta get caught up on all of them.
It's a Canal Plus original starring nobody you know.
What the fuck is Canal Plus?
The studio Canal, they release things if you pay attention to production companies, which I know you do.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop it in the Shuttlecast channel for you. Yeah, it's based on the Has Fallen movies. It's Paris Has Fallen.
I don't know. What? Shit, where'd you put it in Shuttlecast?
Yeah. You know Studio Canal?
No, I don't. Oh God, that's not Gerard Butler.
No.
That looks like shit.
Hey, they made Terminator 2 and JFK and Under Siege and Free Willy and Stargate.
Oh,
And now they're doing Paris Has Fallen on their own streaming service, I guess.
what a what a poorly conceived thing. I didn't think we were gonna get any more streaming services after, like, I think Paramount Plus is one of the newest ones.
I think you could argue that this one is still not going to happen. You can argue.
Is this like the launching point?
I mean, okay, Canal Plus?
Yeah, does this exist?
Does this exist?
Does it have a go live date?
My Canal, all right, canalplus.com. It's in Francais. Okay, they have, I can't read this, it's in French. I don't speak French. This is a French restaurant.
Oh shit.
Okay, so that's not good for me. I'm overwhelmed. It's a French streaming service. That's why it's called Paris Has Fallen. Oh my god.
Oh, it all connects.
Oh my god, it makes sense now. I was like really fucking confused for a minute there.
This is still poorly conceived.
Oh
boy.
Oh my god, it's been around for a while. It was repackaged as Canal Plus in 2019.
Oh. What was it before that?
I think it's just called Canal.
Oh.
Then they gave it a plus?
Everything's a plus.
Oh my god.
Plus Max.
Oh, they lost Discovery and NBC Universal in 2017. That's awkward.
Oh.
I wonder what happened. Oh no, the future of Canal Plus. Anyway, that's all right. I'm grasping at straws here. I just saw Paris Has Fallen and I lost my shit. And then I read closer and saw it based on the Has Fallen movies and I almost died. I had to share that. I was almost done, but then I saw that and I couldn't resist. It looks so bad.
Thank you. Yeah, that's yeah.
This is like a fake movie poster you'd see like in an apocalypse.
Yeah, that's
like as a joke.
Yeah, that's oof.
Like I'm pretty sure I saw this poster in I Am Legend.
Probably, yeah, next to the Batman versus Superman.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been the Shuttlecast. Thank you all so much for listening. I'm fucking tired. I hope you guys are okay. I hope you drank some water. We'll be back at some combination next week to talk about maybe Horizon. I know Joe watched it without saying that he was going to watch it like an asshole.
I do need to watch it as well.
I thought we were going to coordinate a thing, and he just went and saw it.
You know, it's 3 hours. That's a tough one to coordinate. The last time we coordinated, we just watched random shit because we never settled down enough to watch an actual movie. So
that's true. That's fucking true. Well, anyway, guys, thank you all so much. We're gonna go play some Unreal Tournament 2.
Yeah.
Be more confident.
Yeah.